There are 2,043 billionaires in this world. That means only 0.00003% of the population. Approximately 1/4 of them are from the US. Millionaires, we boast roughly 16 million of them. Making money isn't as complex as most people make it out to be. But if you keep doing what everyone else does, it's going to bring you average results. If you want to be rich, watch what rich people do every day and do it. Some of us look at those who've attained such unimaginable wealth with disdain, others with envy. Future billionaires? They want to know how these people did it. They want to understand the inner workings of their minds. How did they navigate their way to such sensational success? You're asking yourself what it takes to get rich, but not just rich at the highest level. How do you go from broke to billionaire? Most people might simply want to have positive cash flow, or even $1 million in the bank. But does $1 million really cut it these days? I suppose that depends on where you live and what you do. Most people think it's impossible to go from broke to billionaire, but it's been done repeatedly. Individuals including Roman Abramovich, Francois Pinault, Howard Schultz, Oprah Winfrey, Shahid Khan, Duan Chang, Ralph Lauren, John Paul DeJoria, Larry Ellison, and Mohed Altrad were once flat broke. But they all became billionaires. Now, you can't become a billionaire without first being a millionaire. At some point in your life, you might have heard the penny doubling story. If you start with a penny and double it every day, in 31 days you'll be a millionaire. On day 1 you have a penny, day 2, 2 cents, day 3, 4 cents, and by the 31st day, you'll have $10,737,418.24. How about the concept of a folded piece of paper that can reach the moon? An average sheet of paper folded 10 times will reach about 3 feet tall. A paper folded 20 times would reach airplane cruising altitude. A paper folded 42 times will reach the moon. Fold the paper 53 times, you've reached the end of our known universe. This is the compound effect in action. It's this type of thinking that's creating today's billionaires. Of course, there are limits to how much you can fold paper, but there are no limits to the progress of ideas. This is how Facebook made Mark Zuckerberg millions that turned into billions. It's how Amazon made Jeff Bezos millions that turned into billions. It all begins with the compound effect. The compound effect is the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart choices. What's most interesting about the process is that even though the results are massive, the steps in the moment don't feel significant. Whether you're using this strategy for improving your health, relationships, finances, or anything else for that matter, the changes are so subtle they're almost imperceptible. These small changes offer little or no immediate result, no big win, no obvious "I told you so" payoff. So why bother? Most people get tripped up by the simplicity of the compound effect. What they don't realize is that these small, seemingly insignificant steps completed consistently over time will create a radical difference. The most challenging aspect of the compound effect is that we have to keep working away for a while, consistently and efficiently, before we can begin to see the payoff. The compound effect is always working. You can choose to make it work for you, or you can ignore it and experience the negative effects of this powerful principle. It doesn't matter where you are on this graph. Starting today, you can decide to make simple, positive changes and allow the compound effect to take you where you want to go. Suppose your friend listened to Dave Ramsey's advice and began putting $250 a month into an IRA when she got her first job after graduating from college at age 23. You, on the other hand, don't start saving until you're 40. By the time your friend is 40, she never has to invest another dollar. and will have more than $1 million by the age of 67, growing at 8% interest compounded monthly. You continue to invest $250 every month until you reach age 67, the normal retirement age for Social Security for those born after 1960. That means you're saving for 27 years in contrast to her 17 years. When you're ready to retire, you'll have less than $300,000 and will have invested $27,000 more than your friend. Even though you saved for many more years and invested much more cash, you still ended up with less than a third of the money you could have had. That's what happens when we procrastinate and neglect necessary behaviors, habits, and disciplines. Every decision you make, no matter how slight, alters the trajectory of your life. What we all are is simply an accumulation of all the choices we make. Our choices can be our best friend or our worst enemy. They can deliver us to our goals or send us orbiting into a galaxy far, far away. Think about it. Everything in your life exists because you first made a choice about something. Choices are at the root of every one of your results. Each choice starts a behavior that over time becomes a habit. Choose poorly, and you just might find yourself back at the drawing board, forced to make new, often harder choices. Don't choose at all, and you've made the choice to be the passive receiver of whatever comes your way. In essence, you make your choices, and then your choices make you. If you want to get from where you are to where you want to be, you have to start by becoming aware of the choices that lead you away from your desired destination. Become very conscious of every choice you make today so you can begin to make smarter choices moving forward. To help you become aware of your choices, I want you to track every action that relates to the area of your life you want to improve. If you decided you want to get out of debt, you're going to track every penny you pull from your pocket, and so on. You may have heard about tracking before. In fact, you've probably done your own version of this exercise. But I also bet you aren't doing it right now, right? How do I know? Because your life isn't working as successfully as you'd like. You've gotten derailed. Tracking is the best way to get back on track. Do you know how the casinos make so much money in Vegas? Because they track every table, every winner, every hour. Why do Olympic trainers get paid top dollar? Because they track every workout, every calorie, and every micronutrient for their athletes. All winners are trackers. Right now, I want you to track your life with the same intention, to bring your goals within sight. You're going to write it all down, every day without fail. No excuses, no exceptions. Be aware that what's simple to do is also simple not to do. The magic is in the doing of simple things repeatedly and long enough to ignite the miracle of the compound effect. So beware of neglecting the simple things that make the big things in your life possible. The biggest difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that successful people are willing to do what unsuccessful people are not. Remember that. It'll come in handy many times throughout life when faced with a difficult, tedious, or tough choice. Just track one habit for 1 week. Pick the habit that has the greatest control over you. That's where you'll start. Once you begin reaping the rewards of the compound effect, you'll naturally want to introduce this practice into other areas of your life. In other words, you'll choose to choose tracking. The earlier you start making small changes, the more powerfully the compound effect works in your favor. Understanding the compound effect will rid you of the instant results expectation, the belief that success should be as fast as your fast food, your overnight mail, your microwave eggs, your instant hot water, and text messaging. Promise yourself that you're going to let go once and for all of your lottery winner expectations because, let's face it, you only hear the stories about the one winner, not the millions of losers. When you understand how the compound effect works, you won't pine for quick fixes or silver bullets. Don't try to fool yourself into believing that a mega successful athlete didn't live through regular bone-crushing drills and thousands of hours of practice. He got up early to practice and kept practicing long after others had stopped. He faced the sheer agony and frustration of the failure, loneliness, hard work, and disappointment it took to become number one. Don't wait another day to start the small disciplines that will lead you in the direction of your goals.